Hello and welcome to KUZA MZIKI, where it's all about be smarter and be better. Our goal is to not just have impact in our beautiful country here in Kenya, but to have impact in Africa and Europe, Asia, Australia, the US, and all over the world. This is Jacktone Otieno, a media and events expert, and I'm with my very good friend, my buddy, my man.
My name is Mike Mutenyo, aka the brand guru. Brand strategist and communication strategist.
Yep. This is a continuation of an episode that we started last week. And we were talking about consistency and quality. Those are the last elements that we talked about. We're still, because we just started out, we're still talking about the basics that you need as a musician to succeed in your career, especially if you're starting out and if you're already established, some of the things, elements that you can maintain. And last week we said one important element is maintaining quality in everything that you do, because quality ties in together with excellence and is all attractive. Yeah. So we continue this conversation, Mike.
Let's continue the conversation. So it's the reason we've dwelt so much on branding.
Yeah.
But that is the, how can I say it? It's the mother of everything. Once you get it right, because a lot of things that you do as a musician, they fall under branding.
Right.
Sometimes they don't appear like they fall under branding. From the music itself to your image, all around. That's why we've dwelt so much on that.
Yeah.
And even the topic that we're going to discuss right now is still linked to branding, as in that process we're going to discuss, which is music promotion and marketing.
Yeah.
It's part of branding, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. So now we're going to talk about marketing and promotion for music. How do you go about it? What are the important things that you need to know to be able to market and promote your music? And the number one thing we're going to talk about is market research and analysis. Yeah, there's a lot of things that, because when you're releasing your music, you need to know who are you releasing your music to. Who's your target audience? Yeah. And what's your message to this target group? Yeah, you know, in other places, especially for me coming from a media background, where we are taught there's a primary target audience and there's a secondary target audience. Same thing as a musician. Who is your primary, who is your core, who is your primary target audience? Then the rest are the people who listen to your music are
in passing.
They are in passing, or now your secondary target audience.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that market research and analysis. Mike.
So just as you've explained, in that being able to narrow down to who is my listener, it will determine a lot of activities that you'll do when you're releasing that song.
Yeah.
An example, if your audience is a young audience, you'll need to know which platforms are mostly used by a young audience. By you knowing my music is listened to by region, as in, is it in Kenya? Is it beyond Kenya? Is it in a specific region in Kenya?
Yeah.
It will determine how you do your marketing. It will determine if you will go and do an activation in that region. For example, if it's Western Kenya, all those things, doing a research about the audience of your music is very important in that aspect. Another thing is once you've done the research and you've known where this audience is found, you'll find creative ways and strategies of how to engage with these people in those streets where they're found, whether it's digital, whether it's physical. So someone will ask, how can I research and know my audience?
Yeah.
Do you have any pointers that you can share?
Yeah, I mean,
if you are an artist, what will you do to be able to know where your audience is or who your audience is?
A good question. I think for me, number one, what I would do is the language too. The language is very important. Yeah, the language that I'm using, because to do my music, yeah, and the message too that I have for my music determines, because by the time I'm penning down a song and getting into the studio to write, there's a message that I want to communicate, and it's important to ask myself, who is this message for? I'll give an example. As a gospel musician, for instance, you're writing music to directly to worship God, or you're writing music to edify the people and encourage them to walk right and, you know, relieve. So that helps to identify, okay, is this message for people who go to church? Is this message for people who don't go to church, that I want them to be coming to church? So the messaging, I think, also determines. And the language, too, determines where do I start from. You know, if I'm singing Swahili music, for instance, it means my primary target audience, should be Kenyans.
Or East Africa generally.
Or East African generally.
Yeah.
Then now the rest of the world, depending on how I package the music, and we'll talk about that in terms of analyzing the music trends, helps me to define a strategy on how to get into those international markets. Yeah. So
and the genre, the style of music, does it also dictate?
Yes, the style of music too. The style of music as well. Yeah, because for instance, in other places, what you call slang, in Kenya is called sheng.
Sheng.
Yeah. So if I'm singing in sheng, I won't say it if I'm shinging.
Shinging in sheng.
If I'm singing in sheng, yeah, it means the people I'm targeting are the people who understand sheng.
Sheng.
People in the hood, people in the ghettos, or people in urban centers. We wouldn't be people in the villages because they don't understand that shit. They might enjoy it because maybe the beat is catchy and nice, but because of the language code, it means I'm targeting the urban and ghetto people. So the genre of music varies from reggae to hip hop to Afrofusion, you know, to now piano and Afrobeat and all those things. That's a very difficult conversation. Because there are musicians who can fit, you know, in terms of even how their brand looks, fits to a certain kind of style. I give an example. If today, let's say Adele, if Adele released an Afrobeat jam, she can.
She can, yes.
And she will deliver.
Yeah.
Or let's say she released, let me say, Afrofusion.
Or a dancehall song. The way Rihanna did.
That's even a good one. Or a dancehall song.
A dancehall song.
You'll be like, yeah, we'll listen to it. It's nice because this is Adele. But it's a bit of
their audience,
of her brand and audience. Yeah.
Okay, I think you've perfectly explained how to narrow down and identify your audience.
Yeah.
It is by looking at those things that you've explained. And just to add, no matter the physical location that you are, you can always get to know who listens to my music. And the best way is by having a sample of your music. The good thing with the platforms that we have nowadays, they have tools and they have resources that can help you narrow down your audience, analyze your audience. It's very key.
The age,
gender, the region. How long did they listen to this song? Which part were they interested in this song? So such information, such knowledge, it's common knowledge. And if you don't know how to do it, YouTube University,
it's free of charge.
So these platforms from YouTube, from Instagram, also technically all social media platforms have tools that you can use to be able to know your audience, to be able to narrow down your audience. By just using even if whether you have one song or two songs, they'll give you a rough idea. And using now these other strategies and tools that we've explained that you don't need to do from online, like you just sitting down and evaluating what is my style of music. The people who listen to this type of who are other artists who are doing this kind of music that I'm doing. They've performed recently. Where have they performed? Which of those gigs did so well in that it had a lot of feedback? Then a majority of that audience is my audience too. So those are some of the ways that you can use to refine your audience. And it's very important. That information is important when you're releasing, marketing, and doing promotion for your music. You will know how to target and where to target.
Very nice. Something else that's very important when it comes to marketing and promotion is branding and identity. We talked about that, in terms
that was in episode one. Yeah.
You know, but this is also important, an important element when it comes to marketing and promotion, because we've insisted on this. You must develop a very compelling message. So let's talk about that. Yeah.
Compelling. You need to be memorable.
Yeah.
Because we are in the business of visual. Most things are visual. So it's very important that how you've packaged yourself as a brand visually complements your promotion. It's not about releasing a song alone. It is about someone being able to associate this song with a certain person, with a certain image, with a certain way I feel when I hear that name, with a certain way I feel when I see an image of this person.
Yeah.
So we had talked about the brand identity tools. So once you've effected those things that fall under how to ensure you have a strong visual identity, it will feed into your music release and promotion.
Let's talk about, in fact, I want us to use a very practical example that I'm seeing, now since we're in East Africa.
Yes.
One of the, top musicians in East Africa is Diamond Platnumz. From our neighboring country, Tanzania. And I've seen they've been doing this Wasafi tour recently.
The Wasafi Festival.
The Wasafi Festival, right? Yes. Yeah. And I've seen they have been experimenting different things.
Yes.
In every concert.
Yeah.
There's one, he came out from a coffee and, people were up in arms. Yeah.
It was all over social media.
What's this? This is so satanic. And then just this weekend I saw they were in a place called Mbeya. And they had a setup. They had like these containers, nicely cut, but they did a setup of people in a barber shop. Like they basically someone in a bedroom, and they created all that on stage. What's your take about all this creativity in terms of, because I don't think we've seen anything like that in East Africa. We've seen that in other markets. Like in the US, we see that when they're doing all these awards.
Someone is brought on a stage like this.
Yeah, and they actually set up a real set. Yeah, but we don't see that here where people like set up real sets in concerts. It's usually the stage, the lights, the
someone comes out, performs, go.
Yeah. What do you make of all this? Because I kind of feel it also ties in with, slightly with what we're talking about.
What we're talking about. Yeah. So first of all, it's a good thing because it's showing that the industry is growing, because if you see such investment is going into such a production, it means we have companies and entities that are releasing such kind of money to be able to create such sets, because it's not cheap.
That's right.
Which is a good step. And I always say this: if you are an early artist, you are the person who is going to open new doors and new frontiers for an industry. So if you find an industry that is stagnant, it is usually because of their early artists who have the resources in terms of money and also people to execute any idea that they have, but they don't do. So the good thing that like Tanzania has is they have early artists who have a vision of always doing newer things. By doing collaborations, huge collaborations with a US artist who is an early US artist, something that it was unimaginable. It gives the industry hope that we are growing and it's possible. Yes, I do sing in Swahili, but it's possible for me to do a collaboration with Rick Ross. You see, so it's very key. Now about all that is the visual representation. It falls under the visual identity. Like someone like Diamond has perfectly mastered that art of always reinventing and doing something that will keep you glued to him, because the sound of the type of music he does is pop, and pop is a popular sound and it has a lot of pressure. You must keep up. You must always introduce something new to keep my attention interested, to keep me interested in you. You just fall off like this, I'm not interested, I'll not come for that gig. And it's something that they've really mastered. And even you can always relate it even with their videos, from the way the sets, because a bulk of their videos lately, they've been doing videos that are sets, created sets, most of those videos.
Right.
It's actually, videos that are done using those concepts are more expensive than you going to a desert and shooting.
Yeah.
All that feeds into a brand. Like now, when you hear Diamond's name, what usually comes into your mind? The flashy aspect of his brand. Especially, he's gotten it as time has been moving. As in right now, he's very strong visually, in that you can't assume him from his hairstyle, from his ears, from his dressing. Sometimes it appears like it's weird, but the thing to do with branding and visual representation for an artist, when you see it digitally, it looks nice. When you see it one-on-one, it looks weird. And that is the goal, because most people won't see them physically, they'll see them visually. So it's something that, as an artist, you need to find your hack in that aspect. You really need to find your hack, in the sense that, as much as I have this dope song that I'm releasing, what other thing is going to just create a buzz? What other thing is going to create a conversation? Because our industries, just from from abroad to Kenya, boiling down, what has changed about that is people are interested in experiences. They're not interested in what you're coming to say. Experiences. So that's why people have a lot of pressure of, how can I craft this thing to be memorable? Because it's how you made me feel is what will make me remember that song. It's what will make me remember your show. So you really need, once you've found an understanding of your audience, you really need now to boil down to, how can I give these people an experience for them to bond with me, for them to remember me, for them to be able to buy what I'm selling to them.
Right. So very important, ensure that you create a consistent visual and branding identity across all the platforms, on social media, on your website, and all promotional materials. Very important in your marketing strategy when you're releasing your music. And that's going to take us to the next step, which is a digital presence on marketing and promotion. You know, and of course, this is all about, again, the digital platforms, about your websites, ensuring that you optimize them accordingly.
Just before we proceed, does an artist need a website?
Absolutely, yes.
All artists, or some of them?
I would say that I think they all need.
Is it a basic requirement for every artist?
I think so.
Why?
I think so, because that's a platform that you have control.
Exactly.
Control.
You have control over. It's yours.
It's yours, and you're the one who. Because see, it's a platform that you use, number one, to, let's say, if you want your press kit or press releases, you can have them uploaded there. Your profile as an artist, you can have it uploaded there. You can sell your merchandise there. You can sell your music there. You can announce of course, you sell on other platforms, but you can also embed those platforms, those distribution channels on your website. And you have control in terms of even of communication, because it's your platform. So if you have upcoming events, you can still announce them on your page. So I think it gives you, for me, a website, it's just like a business. It's an e-commerce. So that's how I look at it, even for a musician. It's not just a platform for you to just communicate. It's a platform that you can leverage on to actually generate revenue. For you.
Why do you think even our own early artists don't have websites? Why do you think?
They
because 99% of them don't have.
They don't think it's important.
That's why we have KUZA MZIKI, making you
they don't think
smarter
it's important.
and better.
Be smarter and be better.
Because just to amplify what you're saying, you see, there are cases of people with huge Instagram accounts being deleted.
Yes.
Not being deleted by hackers, by Instagram themselves, because you've violated something that they are against, you see. So the downside of these platforms, social media platforms, is that that you have no control. It is someone's platform, it is someone's business model, and you'll toe the line according to what they want you to do.
And sometimes people violate these policies without knowing that they are violated until the platform reaches out to you.
Yes.
And there's no mercy, there's no tribunal for you to come defend yourself.
Defend yourself.
It's Jacktone, you violated.
And this, we won't give you back your account.
Yeah.
Your account, we won't give you back. So just another thing is, the advantage of having your own website is that social media is ever evolving.
Right.
Like there was a time, Facebook was the in thing all over Kenya. There came Twitter, was the in thing.
Yeah.
Instagram came. TikTok came during COVID.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Maybe in 4
Thread
years'
also
time.
came.
Yes.
But,
So we don't know. Maybe in 4 years' time, we will have a newer platform that you have to catch up.
That is right.
What if you have those platforms, but you have your own website that is always updated and consistent? In these years that we are having a lot of changes in the social media space, but you have a consistent place where people can find you.
You know, you're saying something very important, because I see that especially with the art musicians in Europe and the US.
Yeah.
And because their industry is much more ahead, there are some positive things that we can emulate or copy.
Yeah.
You know, from them. I see a lot of their musicians, literally most of them, have websites.
It's a key component.
Very key component.
As in the way you go to record a song, it's one of the things that they have a budget for,
and they will
before
even
they
tell
launch
you. Buy tickets. If you want to buy tickets, if for us you say buy ticket, it's buy on other platforms. For them,
you're driving people to a different platform.
Yeah.
Yet you would have driven them to your website.
Right.
And in the process, after they bought the ticket, they check out where were you recently, what is the new song that you have, how can I book you, how can I follow you.
Yeah, I see Lacrae Lacrae is one of the top gospel hip hop artists. Yeah. When he's doing a tour, he will, let's say, do church clothes for tour. You'll see him say, hey, go to my website, buy your tickets there. So you buy the tickets for the different regions or countries, and buy apparels, buy merchandise for that specific tour on the website.
On the website.
Yeah. So it's a very important tool.
Yeah. So might you be having ways in which artists can get cheaper websites? Because the most complaint that we usually have is websites are expensive. It's a perception, because I know that's not true.
You said YouTube University. The other thing right now, there are actually platforms that you can build a website for free.
For free?
By yourself, without even
knowing how to code.
A developer, without even knowing how to code.
Yeah.
Because they have already done all the donkey work.
Mm.
It's actually just to choose the design, choose the color, and just put in your content and images, and you already have a website.
Okay.
Even before.
Yeah.
I know there are platforms that have been advertised, like Wix.com has advertised a lot over and over and over again. You can use that to build a free website by yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in case you need, not everyone is tech savvy, or not everyone loves doing things on their own. We have people, they want to spend that time in doing something else. You can always check out, I have a company called Chelsea Communications. We have lots of professionals, lots of companies we can always connect you to be able to do a website for you, to be able to do a photo shoot for you. So you can visit our website, chelseacommunications.com, in case you need help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. Email marketing. Very important.
Very important. And especially if you're starting out.
And it's not just, even before we go about it, we go into details. Because when we say email marketing,
stroke SMS marketing.
Okay, I've released a song. Michael, this is your email. Send.
What is the problem with that?
How you send is important. What are you sending?
Yes.
Even if it's like a simple note, this is the title of the song. What is it called? And maybe just a little line of what it's about.
What are you sending?
What
basically?
are you sending? And then now attach the files.
Attach the files.
Yeah.
And
links.
That's very key.
Yeah.
And another thing that you need, even before we go to that, the format of the email.
Yeah.
So email marketing stroke SMS marketing, it's very important in the sense that in marketing, we have several layers of how you can do it and achieve and access your audience or market.
Yeah.
So as an artist, you need to have a variety of ways of how you send out content to people, especially like if it's a release.
Yeah.
So you need, now we've discussed about being able to visually brand it yourself. You have your social media platform, so people follow you, they know you have a new project.
Yeah.
We need to narrow down to, we have people in media, for example, the producers of shows who need that music to know that you've released. Some of them, they might not be following you on social media. So the only way is for you to having a database of people that you can send out music to.
Yeah.
So creating a contact list is very important. So the contact list can be divided into two.
Yeah.
The audience, stroke listeners of your music, and then now the professionals who play music. And professionals, we mean now the producers of shows, DJs, the hosts. So you be intentional in creating a contact list for these two types of people. It will make your journey easier. It's better if you're a new artist, you are sure that I've sent out my song to 1,000 people who are very key people than doing blind marketing on social media, yet your socials don't have very huge numbers. So maybe you're promoting to 20 people consistently. It's fine because that's how you create an audience, but take advantage of that bit of having a contact list that you can always send out to. Format is very key. I've seen a very huge mistake that artists do in the sense that you happen to come across a huge database of emails.
Yeah.
So when you're sending us that email of your new song, you copy people in that email, or you take all those emails, send to
one person. So you see all the emails.
Every receiver of that email is able to access all emails that you have.
Yeah.
Number one, that is privacy. There are people you've exposed their emails, they don't want you to expose your emails. It's a red flag, and it shows how unprofessional you are.
Yeah.
So whether that song is nice, if I get pissed off by such a thing, I won't even be interested in opening your email. So be very keen. So in case you need to send an email to bulk, BCC, there's something called a blind copy.
Yeah.
Do that so that every recipient receives that email individually. Basically, that's it about email marketing.
Very important.
Stroke SMS, in case you have a database of phone numbers, either maybe you got those phone numbers from a gig you are doing and people who are registering their details, you have that database. It's very important, especially if you're sending them the KUZA code. KUZA Tune is a service in Kenya whereby people can buy your song as a ringback tone.
Yeah.
It's usually personalized. It's easier if it's done through SMS, someone receiving it. They'll be able to click the link and be able to set it as a KUZA tune.
Awesome. So talk about the format. What would be the ideal format of the email? And also, where is the place of sending newsletters in this day and age?
In this day and age.
I know way back it was very important to kind of send updates. But where is the place of doing that right now? Or even maybe sending exclusive content.
Exclusive content.
Because you have fans who they are kind of your exclusive fans. You identify these are my exclusive fans, or probably you've asked them to subscribe, or they have done that, or you've asked them to join your personal community,
like club, 100 club, 1,000 club. Yeah.
So talk about that, because also that's this part of marketing and promotion to your
audience. So the thing with human beings, we love community. We love belonging somewhere. We love belonging. So it's something that you can take advantage of an artist in that create super fans.
Yeah.
Because with basic mathematics, let's say, for example, you have 1,000 super fans and you've created these hoodies and you're targeting to sell to 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
At 1,000 Kenya shillings, how much is that?
That's
1 million Kenya shillings.
right.
It's very possible, but it's only possible if it's being sold to super fans. Super fans, they are people who you've created a community for, and they feel a belonging in that. You have this, I must buy, even if I don't have money.
Yeah.
So email marketing is one of the ways you can create super fans, is by you finding a way of how you can be getting contacts for these people who engage with your content. It can be random in that. The good thing is we have tools nowadays of how you can get, for example, people who engaged with my Facebook post. You can always get that data and be able to narrow it down in that, how can I get contact for these people? It's very key in that aspect, in that it is you now to get creative with finding ways of how you can get a name for these people and how you can create products and services for this specific niche of people, and find ways of, even if it's hangouts you're doing monthly, it is you to find ways of how you can connect with these people so that they can be consistently be updated on what's going on in your world.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good place to actually end our episode today.
Our episode.
Time.
Okay,
always
time is really
interesting-
flying.
It's interesting how time flies, with all these conversations.
Yeah.
But next week, on the next episode, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about things that are very important. We're going to talk about the streaming platforms,
Very important.
which is very important. So I don't want us even to go to touch on it today.
That is under the music marketing
Still
and promotion, right?
Yeah. We're going to talk about streaming platforms. We're going to talk about live performance.
And just before you proceed,
Sure.
under the streaming platforms, we'll be able to speak about existing companies here in Kenya, because we have artists who have no idea that even in Kenya, there's a Spotify office.
Yes.
There's an Apple Music office here. We have music distribution companies. We have a Sony affiliate company here in Kenya. So through under that, we'll be able to talk about that, and also be able to plug in a few names in case people need to know the process of how to get their music on major streaming platforms, and how to take advantage of what those companies are offering locally and also regionally.
Awesome. We're going to talk about live performance. We're going to talk about merchandising and revenue streams.
Yeah.
So you can tell next week on the next episode is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Like we say, if you wanna be smarter and if you wanna be better,
KUZA MZIKI is the place.
KUZA MZIKI is the place.
The place. And just to add, in case you are watching our episodes and you have questions, you can always ask those questions in our comment section.
Right.
You can always ask those questions via DM on our social media platforms or inbox.
Yep.
You can always get in touch with us.
Yeah.
Our email is kuzamzikiprogram@gmail.com in case you need to get in touch.
Yeah.
We look forward to answering your questions, because so that it's not one way. Maybe we are telling you things you don't need to know.
Yeah.
Maybe you have specific things you need to know. It is you to tell us, and then we'll be able to discuss in detail in the next episodes.
Awesome, man. So shout out to Chelsea Communications.
Yeah.
For putting together all the content,
the whole idea of the program.
The whole idea for the program. Shout out to Bamba Studios, who does the media production, the lighting, the camera work. And specifically, I want to shout out Frank and Mr. Raphael for the amazing work that they do. And this show is shot on location at Rims Studios. So if you're looking for a place to record your podcast, audio and video, Rims Studios will be the place. If you're also looking to do a family shoot, individual shoot, you have your girlfriends or you have your family, or you just want to do, treat yourself for a shoot, Rim Studios will be a perfect place for you to do some amazing photography, photo shoot for yourself. So we'll catch you next time on this show. Thank you for making time to listen and watch today. We'll see you next week, next episode. Remember, KUZA MZIKI, be smarter,
Be better.
Adios.
Cheers.